And we have the sharp real estate professionals who take steps to make sure their clients are protected from identity theft. And also, some of them found ways to find referrals by doing so. So, as you'll see in the title, it's not just financial title. You know, as we leave Oz, in the real world, there's 6 areas of identity theft. The first one is, of course, financial. That's the 16% part of the iceberg that we're able to see above the water. What's left? Well, I'm sure we've heard in the news about tax returns being filed in our name. That's somewhat easy to resolve. We also have motor vehicle. We had an 82-year-old grandmother who in Chicago who had not driven since Truman was in office. Arrested multiple times for DUI. It got to the point where she was scared to answer her own phone. Moving more locally, we have character criminal identity theft. There's a teacher up in northern Florida, 20-year second grade teacher, who during a routine background check, because of course we want to make sure our kids are safe, yes, it was determined that she had multiple arrests for drug possession and prostitution. Now, of course, she's a veteran teacher at that school, she cleared that up. Here's the thing, let's say she uses one of your services to move out of state and find a new home. I'm sure you can look it up. And one thing is, when she gets the new job, oh, those arrests, those weren't me. Let's clear that up. Now, when one of our clients is, let's see, late for a closing at best, or doesn't show up for a closing, how much do we earn?
0.
Thank you. And, or rather, when a project's financing gets upended because our credit ratios are all out of whack. Can we earn more or less? Thank you. So, that's the easy to tackle parts of identity theft. The more thorny one is medical. That's where one of these, oh, by the way, forgive me, I forgot that he is in the room. Yes, with exactly. With Social Security identity theft, before we get to the medical. We have lots of new construction, so thank you for highlighting that, Anita. The challenge is, with all of the new construction going on, we have lots of workers, yes? And not all of them are native born. And of course, we have a lot of non-native born in the room. Cuban American as well, thank you. The point is, though, they might have come here for the best of intentions, they're not all here legally. And on average, an illegal immigrant goes through a fresh identity every 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
Looking around the room, that makes every one of us part of that 916 million. So then we get into the next one, medical identity theft. So our new immigrant has a cousin in out of state who wants to get a Brazilian butt lift, wants to get Botox, all sorts of wonderful procedures. They don't have the insurance to take care of it, and yet, oh, they got a fresh identity. By the way, we're just numbers. If you look up Wyatt McVeigh, and by the way, I can email this to you later, at the ripe age of 2 months old, his daddy goes to open up a passbook account or a savings account with his piggy bank money. For over a year, mind you, he was 2 months old at the time, he was writing bad checks. They can predict what the numbers will be, and we're just numbers. But our financial planner can attest to that, thank you, Alan. So, at best, they have the courtesy to say they're us. They don't have the courtesy to make their blood type or their allergies match ours. So now we have 2 different bits of information on our medical chart. So God forbid one of our clients goes in for a procedure, emergency procedure, and they have to get, at best it'll delay treatment. At worst, let's say the doctor guesses wrong and administers the wrong blood type. Will that project go through? Closing? No. So, sorry to bring the doom and gloom to you. In an ideal world, we have high inventory, we have liquid clientele, we have brisk and robust business. And yet, the real world, we have lots of identity theft. More locally than Chicago or northern Florida, we have down in South Miami, Daryl Jones, an attorney. before he discovered our program, he was hit with identity theft. Being an attorney, he knew what to do, he knew who to call. It still took him months to resolve his issue. It still cost him quite a bit of money out of pocket. During which time, could he really practice law to his client's satisfaction? No. Did his family life suffer? Very likely, yes. Was he able to tend to anything new other than his new job, which is taking care of my identity theft situation? No. So, since then, he's been hit twice, because it's not a matter of if, it's when. Thank you. Good morning. So, the idea is, each time, one phone call, one limited power of attorney, and within 48 hours, back where he was without missing a beat. So the question I put to you, real estate professionals, is this: what if our clients are not as resourceful as a Daryl Jones? What would it be like if our clients were so jazzed with a thank you gift that we give them, rather than the nice bottle of Dunkin' or the nice meal out, which they'll forget about after they've digested it? What if they have a service that could protect them from identity theft, watch over them and their loved ones 24/7, 365, ensure that every decision they make will be the right one, and deliver on a $5 million service guarantee? What will that do for your referrals? Thank you. Questions?
What's the cost? How you signed up? I mean, what's the program like?
Very simple. For an individual, actually, every other state outside of Florida is $19.95. Sorry, $17 for an individual, $19.95 for a family. For the legal plan, for the identity theft, it's $9.95 for an individual, $19.95 for couples or people living in sin, or and up to 8 kids. So 10 socials and identities, one plan.
Is that per month?
Per month. Thank you. Per month. Yes.
Do you have to get the legal shield as well as the ID shield?
Thank you. In my world, there are no have-tos. No.
No, so you can just go with the ideal shield.
ID theft shield.
Yeah.
That will serve you well. Here's the challenge, and actually one of the case studies has one of my colleagues in Texas who one of his fellow congregants from church, a police officer pulls him over for a routine traffic stop. Look, I'll let you go, but I gotta check your ID. His ID revealed that 300 people were using his identity.
Wow.
He had, I might get the numbers jumbled, 87 misdemeanors and 42 felonies, or vice versa. A lot.
Yeah.
In 6 different states. He was allowed his phone call. His phone call was to Legal Shield, which networked him with 6 different attorneys at 10:30 on a Sunday night. Within 2 weeks, his issue was resolved. So you can deal with identity theft as IDShield on its own, or
And LifeLock doesn't have that advantage. Because that's your competitor, right?
we haven't had competition yet. Thank you. That's
No, but I'm saying, I have LifeLock, so I'm like, that's
Sure.
interesting that you say that for the attorneys,
the sheet
that's a selling
that
point.
you all have access to gives
Yeah.
you a comparison of
Yeah.
what we do versus monitoring versus LifeLock. Yes.
What's the difference on the back page of your rates here? Legal Shield with identity theft premium.
Oh, that would have yet to adjust that
Oh, I'm
to
sorry.
the new, yeah. The 1990, the premium is the family package.
Okay.
So there is a special rate for families.
It's $19.95 for a family.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the IDShield on its own.
Great. Any other questions?
No, I think
It's a great program.
Yeah.
You know, tying it back to Cuba, you know, and again, this is sort of self-criticism in a way, because Cuba apparently has a university for those that come here and do Medicaid, Medicare
Fraud, yes.
We're also number one. We're number one in many things, right?
You are, yes.
Identity
Illegal
theft,
dentists.
fraudulent activity against our government, that seems to be incredible talent. So there's great talent to be harbored in Cuba for good things as well. So hopefully that's where we will focus in the future. Thank you, Ari. Thank you for being
All
here.
right, I have one last big question. I know you gotta go. Let's say I start working with a client, they're gonna get a mortgage, I wanna make sure they're fine. They have to sign up for a minimum of what? Let Legal Shield do all the screening for them, so we don't get to a closing and it blows up because of their identity theft. Do you sign up for a year? Is it a,
Our service is month to month and only month to month. our privilege to show the client the incredible value that we offer, so that really we have members that have been on the books for 40+ years.
So if they take your services right off the bat, they're gonna get all the screening and everything, we'll get everything up to date, and then they can decide to continue.
But-
Okay, good, thank you.